everyone, and peace be with us all. I am Earl Jared Marocon, and I'm here to introduce my co-member for this PETA assessment, starting with Jairus Visitacion, Nico Maniego, Nicole Luz de Roja, Tyra Jane Godino, and John Lawrence Kalingasan. And we are the group 2.
Once upon a time, there is a girl named Snow White, who is the fairest of them all. Her stepmother, who is the queen, she envied her daughter so much that made her do bad things. And one day, Snow White fell asleep and they put her in a glass casket, assuming Snow White was dead. And they offered her flowers, but a prince came who fell in love with her way back and kissed Snow White. And that kiss is the reason why Snow White woke up. The next day, she woke up and a witch gave her a fruit, which is an apple. While she was sitting and resting in a tree, the 7 dwarfs came and offered her to go into their house, which she agreed, and live with them. And in compensation with that, she did all the house chores in the dwarf's house, and after living with the dwarfs, they live happily ever after with the prince.
Did you get it? I bet you did not, because the story Snow White was told in a random manner. The introduction, body, and conclusion of the story were mixed up, which obviously made you confused about the real sequence of the story. And this problem is also widespread in the Philippines.
Disinformation and misinformation are becoming more and more prevalent in the Philippines. According to a social weather station survey held last December 2021, majority or 51% of Filipinos find it difficult to spot fake news on television, radio, or social media. But the prevailing problem itself is not just stemmed to those people spreading it, but it is deeply rooted to the source where the news are coming from. The University of Vienna researchers said fake news has 2 dimensions. One is unintentional, and the second is the deliberate creation of disinformation to delegitimize the media and distort the truth for the people. One major factor affecting the quality of the news is the organization of the content being reported. If the article does not observe coherence and cohesion, readers might end up being lost and have a different interpretation of the text. Moreover, if failed to deliver a content in its proper sequencing, the accuracy, authenticity, and the clarity of a news report might be affected and might result to misinformation. In line with this, writers who does not organize their ideas might overwhelm their readers with too much information. This might be another reason why readers do not understand the news report and might end up having a wrong interpretation of what the news really wanted to convey. To avoid this from happening, techniques such as pre-writing, outlining, mapping, and creating a table are some of the ways writers may utilize to organize their ideas and prevent bombarding readers with overloaded information. Knowing how influential media can be in shaping people's opinion and perception, writers should be critical in organizing the information they are giving out to the public to ensure that they are guiding the readers into receiving the right information and not mislead them to fake news.
And now let me proceed to our editorial cartoon. There we have our cartoon with the theme Significance of Organization of Information. So today I will be discussing the components of our cartoon as well as what it symbolizes that makes organization of information significant. Let me begin with the main character of our editorial cartoon, which is the traveler. So judging from his physique, the map he's holding as well as the backpack, we can say that he is one who travels long distances in order to go to a particular destination of his liking. So we use the traveler to represent us, journalists, information disseminators, people who post online, in social media, as well as writers in printed media, and so on and so forth. So we use the traveler because dissemination of information is a journey. So you have to go from not knowing anything about this topic to actually being knowledgeable and arriving to a particular time when you can inform other people about it because you are already knowledgeable about it. And then that's it for the traveler. Now let's proceed to the map he's holding. So the map he's holding, of course, we all know that maps guide us to where we want to go, and it symbolizes the outline of proper organization of information. As you can see, we used the map to act as an outline of the typical organization pattern of writing articles that are informative, which is the introduction, body, and the conclusion. So not only does this map symbolizes the way on which you want to go to in order to arrive to your destination, but also how to properly navigate yourself in information dissemination. And then that's it for the map. Now let's proceed to the books or the bookshelf behind the map. So we all know that maps aren't enough. Even though you have tons of maps, if you don't know how to navigate, if you don't know what these mean in the map, you won't arrive at your destination. So at the background of the man, we have the books, or what it symbolizes, which is the evidences and the references that supports your information. So it is important that you are knowledgeable about your topic before you create articles or any other sort of media that will inform or educate others. So it's important to have a lot of knowledge, a lot of evidences behind your back, on your minds, and keep it in mind when you are trying to inform other people. Last but not the least are the last people in the background. So as you can see, the woman has scribbly lines at the top of her head, as well as a question mark on the top of the guy's head. So these represent the people prone to misinformation due to lack of organization and knowledge of evidences. So as you can see, only the traveler has a map and the bookshelf behind his back, which means he is the only one who has a guided way in order to properly disseminate information, as well as the background knowledge to know how and what information to disseminate. On the other hand, the people behind in the background are those that are prone to misleading because they do not know how to organize their information, and by that we can also assume that they will not be able to deliver the information they want to educate people with proper consistency and efficiency. So the least I can say about this is this cartoon represents the message that proper information organization will lead to accurate dissemination of information. So you have to have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the patterns, the outline, the evidences behind that information, as well as how to properly inform yourself first before informing other people. As for the style and techniques of the art, so we use Ibis Paint X in order to come up with the editorial cartoon being shown on your screen today. And we use different brush strokes, so it's mainly just digital art that we use, the style of art making. We also conceptualize first by brainstorming and creating an outline using the Canva app. So we use that to set the image we want to draw in our editorial cartoon, and then once it's finalized, we proceeded to drawing the editorial cartoon by hand through the Ibis Paint X. So that's it for me. Let's go to the next presenter.
Organizing information is very important in writing. Without a clear organizational pattern, readers could become confused and lose interest. The way you structure your essay helps the readers draw connections between the body and the thesis. And the structure also keeps you focused as you plan and write the essay. A strong organizational patterns allows you to articulate, analyze, and clarify your thoughts. Planning the organizational structure for your essay before you begin to search supporting evidence may help you to conduct more effective and directed research. Having a map and organizing information may help you to concentrate on what information needs to get. By the use of map, instead of being distracted to the overload information, this map may help you to what information that you need first until you reach the last part. Lastly, we can prevent misinforming the readers if we have a well-organized and easy-to-understand article.